Hello and welcome to the Strummer Camp podcast. The Strummer Camp Music Festival is held every year in Oldham, Greater Manchester, up here in the north of England. Born from an idea over a pint in a pub back in 2005 by Phil Fitzpatrick and some friends, Strummer Camp has grown to become one of the friendliest small music festivals in the UK. Details on how to buy tickets for next year's festival can be found on their website at www.strummercampfestival.com or on their Facebook page, Strummer Camp Festival Official. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And why not send the link to the podcast to your family and friends around the world? It's all about spreading the love, scampers. In this podcast, Phil is talking to the guys from Comat Rock, a 5-piece punk band from Scotland, also known as the Ultimate Clash Tribute Band. For more information, check out their website at combat-rock.weebly.com or on their Facebook page at Comat Rock 1977.
Good afternoon on the sun. I don't know what the date is. We're at Strummer Camp 2021, which was a bit of a not thrown together thing. We had about 3-4 months to prepare it because we couldn't do our usual one in May. And we sat literally in the changing room half an hour after absolutely highlight of any Strummer Camp, I think, with the guys from Comat Rock who've come all the way down from Scotland, who actually played the first Strummer Camp, which was 2006. Which seems like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? I don't know why I've not had you back. I know a couple of times it's just crossed with dates. Everybody wants you back next year anyway, Saturday night.
I think I'm doing my nails that week.
Doing your nails, all right. Listen, I'll let you guys introduce yourself if you can, and I'll just have a quick chat about Strummer, the Clash, and other personal stuff if you want. Yeah, so if you can introduce yourselves.
I'm Fred, I'm the Mick Jones guy in the band, and thank you for having us here.
I'm Drew, I'm a drummer.
I'm Mick, and I am the best musician in the band by far.
No, you're the bass player. I'm Mark, I do the Joe Strummer part. And Phil, thanks again, thanks for having us.
No, not at all. No, yeah, it's a bit strange. I don't even know why it's been so long getting you back again. Going back to the first Strummer Camp, me and Kev, who we did it with at the time, I can remember I think you played Sunday afternoon.
No, Saturday.
Saturday. Ignore me anyway.
Saturday afternoon. Because Fred and I ended up travelling back up the road and Mick stayed in his car that night.
Yeah. It's a bit of a blur to me. That was the first one we ever done, and it was kind of, not amateur. I think we did a good job. It was kind of thrown together, and we did it by the skin of our teeth. We kind of learnt a lot. This isn't my job. It's just a pure passion driven with me, and you
that
guys.
First one that we done, I thought was absolutely fantastic. I think did you have 3 stages? You had the main stage, you had an acoustic stage, you had like a techno type thing somewhere in the corner as well. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, the weather held out as well. It was great weather.
I just remember on this Sunday night, it was a mad weekend. My son had to go in hospital. He'd had his tonsils out and his mouth was bleeding, and I had to disappear for about 3 hours. And I thought the whole thing's going to fall, because everything's here, in my head. So I can remember coming back on the Sunday evening and Neville Staple hadn't turned up. And we had about 45 minutes to get him on stage, and he's going around the M60 in 3 cars, and anyway, we did it by the skin of our teeth. And I remember Kev coming over to me with about £4.50 in his hand. He said, we've done it, we've £4.50. And I was nearly crying. So what I'm saying is, we never even thought about doing a second one. It was just, that was the tribute show, and that was it. So we're 15 years down the line now, a couple of years off, but yeah, just obviously you guys are absolutely passionate about what you do, and we're all over 40, aren't we? And my kids.
One does believe so.
We've all, like you see the young kids, my daughters, like, love the Clash and everything, and just like watching you now, my kids, it's a highlight of the weekend.
We
it's
actually
a lasting thing, isn't it?
Played a gig last week in Edinburgh, and the people in the crowd varied from 18 to 65, maybe even 70. Yeah. Kids up the front, honestly. I'm saying it didn't matter what we played, and they were just out to enjoy live music, but a lot of them were singing the songs. Yeah. you know, quite astounded. And I remember talking to a young kid from Spain, and this was after we had to do like 2 sets, and he's like, yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Just off the phone to my dad, and he's raging. Says, I grew up listening to the Clash thanks to my dad, and the whole of the second set, I remember watching this guy, and he's word for word fantastic. Can't beat that.
It's like, I know I was a Clash fan, but the legacy's just getting better and better. When you read the books and everything, it becomes an even more amazing story, isn't it? And broader and broader, yeah. Not just, oh, I like it. There's a lot of it becomes deeper and deeper to me, I don't know. I'll let you what's your sort of influence from growing up as a kid and as a musician? Was you like, how old was you when the Clash first came out?
I was 11 when the Clash first came out, and I shared a room with my brother. And so previous to that, you know, we had a record player in the room, so I'd have been listening to the Strawbs and ABBA, and stuff, and Swadi Wadi and stuff. And he brought in, I think the first thing he brought in was maybe Never Mind the Bollocks or a single off of that. And I was like, oh, that's good. And then I remember brought in the Clash album. Janie Jones came on, and I've just looked full of energy. And that was it. I just hook, line and sinker. The whole punk thing, but just especially the Clash.
Did you always sing and play guitar? Or?
I started when I was 12, so the first song I learned was White Riot, funnily enough. So it's been I still don't know it. It's always been the Clash for me, always.
It's like, so I think one of the first books said it's like a backdrop to your life, isn't it? Anyway, it becomes a backdrop to everything you do and what you're about.
I remember getting the songbook, the first album, you know. So learning how to play guitar, and it was the book at the time, you had to paint your fingernails. Right, so I just memorised that was red, honestly. That was yellow, that was blue, and that was black. Honestly, I memorised it. So that was like an A chord, and there's a D chord. Yeah, it's still there. A chord, D chord, E chord. I was like, this is what I'm learning, and White Riot was the first song. I jumped about like a lunatic in my room, and just don't know how to describe that.
Never look back.
That just euphoria of actually being able to play along.
Did you ever think you'd be doing what you do now?
God, no. This just came by meeting like-minded people.
I was going to say to you, because have you all, through the love of the music, is that how you... Because you get some tribute bands who are like really, really professional musicians, don't you? And I remember one, without naming them too, I can't remember what they're called, but I remember a Clash tribute band many years ago. I was talking with the guy afterwards, and they weren't a lot of money. They were getting paid a lot of money. And he said, oh yeah, we do a Metallica tribute as well.
Shut up.
I was like, what, you know? And I kind of realized, fair enough, that's what you do, you know? And I thought, they can't be passionate like you are about doing it.
There's another tribute band.
Put our wigs on and become Metallica
There's
next
another
week.
tribute band. I don't know if they're still playing up in Scotland. They did the Clash, but they also did the Cure.
Oh, that was the counterfeit Clash. The first half of their set used to be like the Cure and a couple other kind of obscure, new wavy type tracks, but mostly the Cure. And then they would come on and do the second half of their set as
it is what
the
it is,
Clash.
but I think there's certain bands you can't. But like I say, even my kids were saying, you're so passionate, you know, you still got that. That's what I'm saying to you, never thought you'd still be doing this years later. But you still got passion for it.
Oh God, the passion's still there without a shadow of a doubt. I don't think there's a... Sure, lockdown was a bit different because we were like not seeing each other on a regular basis, and it's like, oh, we're going to bother doing this again. Not that you didn't think we were never going to do it again, but you know, did we have the same passion, for example, for texting each other once a day and telling Fred that I love him? No, you know, I kept it to once a week.
Never texted me.
So the more that we weren't around each other, the less you thought the expectancy of actually getting out and doing a gig together, and what was it going to be like as well? Are you going to have the same passion? Are you going to be as up for it as what you were the gig pre-lockdown? And well, as it turns out, yes.
We did our first proper gig last week after 20 months. Yeah. Our first proper gig in front of a live audience. That was the Edinburgh gig. Yeah. And we were all a wee bit kind of apprehensive, a bit anxious, because we hadn't rehearsed, we hadn't practiced. I forgot the songs as I usually do, and we sort of went on stage thinking, okay, let's see how this goes. And within the first few notes of Safe European Home, we just thought, back in the groove here.
I think it's more, you were on stage with your mates, right? That's, so don't have to worry about, do you hit a wrong note, do you do this, oh God, that drum beat's wrong, or you've missed a wrong bass note a million times.
Same note.
I was only trying to put you in the same category to make him feel less. I don't,
Just soften the blow.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
kind of noticed. But it was more about the camaraderie, and you're on there with your mates. And Fred knows Clash songs. He's been doing Mick Jones part like this since God knows how long.
I'm a kind of mark, you know, whatever was happening before, musically for me, before things happened and all the rest of it. Too bad to say what I was listening to. Too bad to say what I was listening to. But the same as Mark, the first time I heard, you know, the first Janie Jones, and you're like, everything just changed, you know, and that was it. No looking back, no more, and no more. And that's always the song that's the one that ignited the spark. And I've been Mick Jones.
It's right, the first song on the first album.
Aye, exactly.
Isn't it? Everyone says the same.
A porcupine cut, there you fucking go, you know. Whoa, what the fuck's that, you know? Mr. Blue Sky or Janie Jones, or whatever it was, you know. Made that up. But and then it's just, you know, as I say, Mick Jones, I was 12, so I'm 26 now. I still can't play the solo. But that's just it, you know, it's just...
Even the term tribute band, it's never really washed well with me. A tribute band, Clash covers band, a band that passionately plays Clash songs. Don't think anybody in the band tries to be the person that they're whose part they happen to be playing. You know, he ain't Mick Jones, he ain't Topper Head, and he's no Paul Simon.
I kind of don't like that when bands are two. And you look at it thinking, there was a Jam tribute band 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The guy looks
Oh, it was a double.
And after 3 songs, I'm like, this is just a bit weird. You know, it's too, and every note's perfect, like you say. You died
a couple of years ago.
Last week.
Did he?
John, he died a couple of years back.
Did
he was on Stars in Your Eyes.
John Metal.
The guy for the Jam with 2 M's.
Oh, right. I feel bad now saying that.
I know, fuck's sake.
You can edit that bit.
Too good. No, I think what I meant was it's too good. Really, too
But it was Paul Weller's double.
They're too good. We're not that good. See, last week, after our first gig, after 20 months, been away and all the rest of it, blah, 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 and all everything else, I just thought we're just groovier than a lot of the other bands that we've seen. It's not a good thing about it, but just what we are, you know. We can move, we can keep things going, we can, you know, groove. It's just, there's a...
Natural.
Aye, but it's not do. I am.
Yeah, but I think along with that is so there's, as you can hear, there's 4 voices coming through the microphone at the moment. There's normally 5, and Rory plays keyboards with us. Rory stuck to his principles today and decided not to come because of the PCR tests and anti-vaccine. So that's his prerogative, but he would have been here. And I think having Ronnie as an addition to the band, where he can do the likes of some of the songs, but it's not, as Fred says, 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, 1, 2, 3, 4, blah. You can do a wider variety. And,
You can do the card sheet.
Exactly. Those simple songs that guitar-orientated only bands can't do. It gives us the scope to go out and do them.
And then with the brass, when that happens.
Sometimes you get brass.
The grass.
The brass.
Oh, I thought you meant the grass. Yeah, that helps as well.
What's as a non-musician myself, obviously Topper was regarded as a really fantastic. Is it hard to do his stuff, or as the other band? You know, do you appreciate how good he is, or do you have to be of a certain standard to replicate
Find it
that?
easy. Quite easy.
Oh!
I do.
Yeah, little liar.
I do, just because his style's so similar to what I played anyway.
And was you always a Clash fan, you? So
No, I hated the Clash.
No, really?
Honestly.
Seriously?
Didn't like him. I thought production was dead tinny and rotten and stuff. But I'm older than I'm 60, so my musical likes went back a long way. I was into kind of
Steppenwolf.
heavier stuff. I loved big production, and then the Clash came along, and to me that was empty, tinny. Didn't like it. Loved the Pistols, liked the Damned, but it grew on me. This guy dragged me out of retirement.
If there's any new drummers out there, we're looking for a new one.
I met his daughter in a shop, and she was playing Bank Robber on her iPod. And I was just saying to her, if you like the Clash, my dad plays in a Clash tribute band. I says, look for a drummer. And she took my number down and met Mark.
All right.
Dragged me in. He put me on probation for 8 years. He still haven't told me.
But the moral behind that story was I actually played in a band with Drew 30 years previous, and he didn't know who I was.
Can't remember.
Really?
Yeah, couldn't remember who I was.
Have you had your memory checked?
Bizarre. By the way, things work out. I knew Mick like 35 years ago. when he was in another band, and I was like going to see his band, kind of knew him, didn't see him for 30 years, then joined another band, and like went to the bass player, fucking late again, arsehole prick. Sorry, arsehole Mick. I'm like, fuck you, Mick, I've not seen him for 35 years, and and then after Joe Strummer died, Mick was in a Clash tribute band, they did a final gig, and Mark and the rest of the original Comat Rock went, and suddenly it was like,
Somebody fancy doing this again?
Somebody continue doing.
Yeah, because I
be the
think
guitarist.
we'd actually split up at the time.
Aye.
The guy, two brothers playing with us at the time, and one of them now does the Paul Weller part in the Absolute Jam. Nice little plug for your band there, John. And Dougie is in the Media Whores, and so they two had left. So they two had left the band and been doing any Clash stuff. And I'd been in Qatar working and managed to come back, looked in the wee booklet you got in the Sunday Mail, and it says Clash back. I went, that must be something to do with it. Come on, it must be.
Backlash.
So, Backlash, what did I say?
Clash back.
Yeah, okay, something like that. Yeah, you get it on the internet.
Fingered on the
Right, so we went in, and I was very impressed with Mick.
Of course.
But it's immediately after they played, and no, honestly, I was absolutely, really impressed with Mick. And directly after the gig, I said, how would you fancy coming and playing in our band? He's like, yeah. He goes, and I said to him, we need a guitar player as well. He goes, fuck. He says, my mate's just left.
He's sitting over
You
there.
know, I just remembered there when Backlash got back to do the final, their
the
final
Strummer
Clash
tribute,
gig, and they were a 5-piece. The Joe Strummer guy just jumped about, didn't play guitar, so 2 guitarists. But the guitarist they had hurt his wrist and might not be able to make the gig. And I knew Mick by this point, he's like, are you able to learn 6 Clash songs there is? So I spent ages learning them, utter shite, you know, no sound check. And then the guy who couldn't play turned up and reluctantly played. So I was there at the gig to maybe stand in case he couldn't. He did play, so they were there, he was there, he fancied him, and he did a guitarist because the guy with that Jack the Hat McFucking Vitty, with his comedy fucking sling, you know. I could maybe do White Riot, but I don't know about a fuck up, you knob. So I didn't get to play, and then Mick phoned me about 1 o'clock in the morning going, I met this guy called Mark, who was in a Clash tribute band, he's looking to start another Clash tribute band.
You want to do that bit again?
I'm a nightmare. Are you into it? And I was like, right, and Clash songbook, you know, I spent ages, every fucking note, you know, do, all the solos. You may not have noticed that today, but I did, you know. I didn't drink for about 7 years with Comat Rock, 'cause I was too fucking anxious about getting it wrong. There you fucking go, you know.
That was it. Set up a rehearsal, and then that was it.
2002 or something.
Yeah.
You never spoke to me for fucking 6 weeks.
That's nothing new.
Mate. You're the only drummer fan can play the start of Jenny Jones properly, so...
Lovely, but I played in bands. I've played in a lot of bands throughout my life, as probably Fred and Mick and Drew have as well. So to you as a non-band guy that's never played in a band, there's always fights, there's always horrible interaction when you're younger and you want to punch fuck out the lead singer or that fucking guitar player's getting smacked with a guitar. There's always animosity. Not a single piece of animosity with us at all. It's just, it's always you look forward to seeing the lads, you look forward to getting up there and playing with them, and you look forward to at the end of it, you know, it's a nice wee huddle. And
The thing is, as people say to us, when they watch us playing, they see that we're all enjoying it. Because we are. That's the reality. We're not up saying, oh, Jesus, not another bloody... We're up there having a laugh and enjoying every minute of it. And he's playing extra songs after the guy said you get 2 left. He's like, fuck that, we're doing 3. You know, that's the way it is. Yeah. So we love doing what we're doing. You know,
people know that. I think with any band, people know.
You can see.
If it's true.
Yeah.
If it's true, people know. They do know.
Yeah,
it's the soul of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've seen a few other sort of heritage tribute bands, you know, Lash ones. They are a bit formulaic and all the rest of it, and that's fine, okay. It's like Topperhead. You'd always say about Topperhead, he'd have been in a Mud or a Shawady Waddy band, wear drapes, wear a dinner jacket, wear a Be Mod, you know, that's it, but the best position at them all, by a mile, you know, so that's a read off. Not Drew. Oh, fuck's sake, man.
Got to say at this point as well, Drew's absolutely shit hot at playing the Terry James song for the first album as well. Total different style, and when we play the likes of Gary's Land and whatever, there's don't know if you'll get this, but there's breaks that he plays that garage band, which he does on the cymbals. And normally you would expect somebody to be battering hell at the kit, and Drew does all that fantastically well, and it helps to makes the song, rather than just, as Fred had said earlier, going 1, 2, 3, 4, you know. Credit to you there, sir.
After the COVID and stuff, obviously just coming out, hopefully coming out of it, have you got other gigs lined up? And if are there other festivals this year or anything? Have you...
We're playing in Paisley next week.
Next week?
Well, sorry, September the 11th, funnily enough. We've got something booked in Aberdeen, booked to play somewhere in London, Dundee. But got to a point last year where people were calling you up. It's like, okay, I'll book you for this date. And you're like, yeah, okay, no problem. Didn't even put them in the diary because they were nonsense. Yeah, put you in for June. You're like, this is going to be on until at least the end of August. And then when it prolonged after August, you're like, maybe next March. And honestly, as soon as some politician had said something on the news about, we'll be looking to get out of this in the next 2 weeks, the phone was ringing. Can I book you for here? Can I book you for Kirkcaldy? Come in here. And also, I think we had a rehearsal during one of the lulls. We had a rehearsal, so basically a get-together more than worrying about a rehearsal. We kind of went, do we really want to go and travel as far and just kind of keep it local and still go out and have a great lads' night out? And do we really need to be travelling here and travelling there and being away for your family and stuff like that? So kind of went, do we want to be playing? Not that we didn't say Strummer Camp, but
Plymouth for 30 quid.
Aye, you know, and it's not about the money by any means, right? But no, he's right enough. You know, you get requests. Can you come to Germany? Okay, so then you get to the shit part where you've got to say, right, how much can you cover? And they go, yeah, we can give you €1,000, and you're on the spot, and you go, right, well, then 5 flights to Hamburg, 1,250 quid. I can't give you any more. Well, we can't come then, you know, because we ain't got to go and pay to go and fucking over to Germany for the weekend, and fucking end up having to take shifts off your work. And
that's still
our job.
It's kind of an old myth, isn't it? The punk thing. Like I've been at gigs where people have gone £3 on the door. I thought it was a punk gig. You had 7 bands on, and someone's moaning about paying £3, and then they'll go and spend £4 on a pint of cider at the bar, and you go.
7 bands on, they're all getting £3.
But you as the guy who's putting the band on, you're like, well, you know, I remember I went to this venue and the sound system was shit, so you book a decent sound system, like but you've got here, you know, it all mounts up, and and the £3 that you pay the band as well, you know, it all mounts up. So yeah, still get that. Still get it, and people still call you up or send you on.
It's an unappreciated thing, isn't it? Oh, it's a band, you don't, all what you do, and you're travelling and you're planning and everything.
But the Clash are different.
Yeah. See, obviously, Strummer Camp, over the years, different people, some, I love Joe, what he was about, and, you know, take the inspiration, not a hero. I don't think he was a hero or a genius at all. You know, I don't look at him like that. Some people do, don't they? It's different ways of looking at it, but I think the fact 40 odd years on and we're sat here now and you're still doing this is massive testament, isn't it? You know,
I think it's more a testament. I would say it's more a testament to the guys that all played in the Clash and not just to Joe Strummer. He was only one. Absolutely. He was only one of.
It wouldn't happen.
Yeah. You know, he was only one of the group. Without the rest of them, you know, it would have been Latino rockabilly. But you know, he was part of the Clash, and that's what I think. At all different stages and the albums that they played and the different. Maybe you didn't get that into them when the first album came out, but then when you went to school and people were playing it, and it's like, listen to the second album, the production might be a bit better. Yeah. And then I know myself, for example, I thought the first album was a better album than the first one because of the Ron's.
Better than what?
Give him enough rope.
You just said the first album better than the first one.
No, I didn't. Listen to
Play
me
that
carefully.
tape back.
Rewind.
Get excited, a bit excited. You know, and then they went on to London Calling, which then went out to a different market again because there's a lot of rockabilly type stuff on there.
Just a band growing,
ska,
you know, it's a band growing. You know, your first album's always your fucking first album, and that's what you've been spending years to do, and that's it, and then it's there, and like the difficult second album syndrome. What do? Do you overproduce it? If you know, fucking who was the Sandy Pearlman did the second album, didn't he? You know, and the quote is like, there's more guitars per square inch in this album than fucking anything, you know. every fucking space is filled with a thing, a this, a that. And it's great, and it was a totally different to the first time. And you get to London Calling, but it's like, well, let's have a cigar, put on a fedora and some...
Well, that's partly right, like I say,
Stirrups.
even listening to the records as years go by, it becomes more and more interesting. Isn't it? Like Standing Easter, even the band turned their back on it. But now everybody looks back at it, they're hour ahead of the time.
So there's still, yeah, but there's still some great tracks on Sanderista, and there's some of the tracks on it I go, right, don't listen to the production on it, you know, try and listen beyond the production. There's still some great songs on there, if you take out all the wanky shite.
If you give it time, you know, a lot of time.
Listen, you guys travelling back tonight?
Yeah.
Can't thank you enough, and we'll have to get you back next year. We'll pencil you in for next May.
Next year, the Saturday night, headliner.
A big shout out to Paul Lim, who I believe encouraged you somewhat.
Limbo, absolutely.
Yeah.
Paul's, I think, I might be wrong, he's the only person that's been to every single Strummer
Whoa.
camp. I might be wrong if I've upset anybody, apart from me. So we're going to have to get some special badges made, I think. But no, thank you guys anyway. I mean, obviously you were a massive part of the first one, and you probably came all the way down for not much money at all, I would imagine,
30
at the
quid's
time.
fucking 30 quid, mate. Yeah.
We haven't been paid yet, so you know, don't go anywhere. There's only two of them. He's a big fella.
We'll pay you, I promise you. No, I know you get it, and you know it, and we do it all not for profit. That doesn't mean nobody, you know, we've struggled some years but it's all part of the fun in a weird kind of way, you know. Sunday night, 8 o'clock, we've done it, we don't owe anyone any money, you know.
Why is it always in the rugby club?
I don't know, it's just, they generally have a spare pitch, so they don't want you to use the main pitch, so the training pitch is always handy. They generally have 2 or 3 pitches, not unlike a football, and the clubhouse is open, changing room, showers. It just kind of, I don't know why.
I just often wondered why it was
Yeah.
in the club.
I do think rugby's soft.
Yeah?
It's like it's soft.
I just don't understand it.
It's from the kid.
Right, and before you go any further, yeah, so Rangers, Drew supports Rangers, and they beat us today, so I might as well get it in there before fucking you do.
Something I always thought about, and I wanted to ask you, was whether, as a tribute band, can you record and make albums? Or No, but what we've done, obviously you're infringing into copyright stuff there and stuff like that, but what we've done is managed to record live gigs. I was going to say it's a live gig.
Yeah, and get some decent recordings from the sound engineer. And we did one in Blackpool 2019, and the format that we got it in, we were actually able to plug memory stick straight into a mixing desk, and just not remixing by any means, but just taking down some of the volume, some of the anything, and just clear it up a little bit. And Ronnie, that normally plays with us, he also does filming. Yeah. So he does filming and sound. It's not his full-time job by any means, but he's really, really good at it. And there's quite a lot of the footage from previous gigs on Ronnie's YouTube channel, available at Romak Media. Romak Media, ROMAK Media, and that's on the YouTube channel, and there's plenty of Comat Rock stuff there.
Yeah. Do you guys have a website? Do you have a Comat?
We don't. No, we do have a website. Yeah. Combat Rock something. Can't remember.
See, it was MySpace at the start, and then it was www.combatrock fucking.
Yeah, we've still got MySpace.
Type in Combat Rock Weebly, WEEBLY.
And we've got Facebook, which I'm pretty sure is Combat Rock 1977.
Is it?
I think so.
See, I just write people, well, I have a Facebook page, and they come back and go, I couldn't find you, mate.
So Facebook's the best place for people to go.
Facebook really is, generally, because probably more people are using Facebook, so yeah, post quite a lot of stuff on that. Let's keep it to what gigs we've got coming up, or videos and
Of course, yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you have any merch at all? Do you do T-shirts?
We are, the lads that were doing T-shirts, obviously because we haven't been together for 20 months, there's normally a team of 3, Stephen, Ian and Alex, and there's normally every gig they come to. First of all, they just started turning up as punters, and then got to know them. And Stephen's an artist as well, so he's did quite a lot of stuff clash orientated. How we met him was mixed all one of his paintings for a poster, and didn't Think to
You know
answer
the
beforehand.
Victoria Park picture of the Clash on stage, the classic picture from the angle, right? We saw it online and stole the picture. It was Stephen who painted that. It was so good. It was like a fucking photograph, you know. Did it, advertise a gig. Went to do the gig. Stephen turns up and he's like, if you're going to fucking use my fucking art, at least fucking ask me. But like, art, it's a fucking photo. It's stunning, you know, stunning.
I didn't know that.
Aye. And he came with one for us to present to us as a gift.
And from that
a
day
pro
on,
smart occurred.
yeah, and from that day onwards, he's been glued to our side, and Alex and Ian as well. So they were doing merchandise, but because we haven't been together for 20 months,
They lost it.
yeah, it's just that they've just no
Virtual swag.
They haven't managed to kickstart again. Let's say.
If anyone's looking to sort of book you in the next 12 months, is it just best to go through Facebook?
Best to go through Facebook.
Definitely don't go through him.
Bad joke.
And if Fred replies to you, just wait on somebody else. Yeah.
Who's here and who's not? Judgment for the fucking plaintiff.
Yeah, definitely through Facebook. That's the best option. Generally, because we've all got it on our phones. So if anything comes through, somebody will get back to you as soon as possible. Don't like to leave anybody hanging, apart from Fred.
I have to say, I'm bursting for a pish.
We'll let you go now. Thanks a million, anyway, really, genuinely, really appreciate it. And
Cobble something out of it.
yeah. Thank you. Cheers, man.
Can I pish in the ladies, or is that not allowed?
Thank you for listening to the podcast. Why not check out the other podcast and the videos all about the Strummer Camp Music Festival? And finally, don't forget you can find more details on how to buy tickets for next year's festival on their website at www.strummercampfestival.com or on their Facebook page, Strummer Camp Festival Official.